But so her dating somebody in the non-spiritual world is not cheating on the person in the spiritual world.
What if the person evolves into a different gender?
What?
Sir.
Do you not think it's a bad idea to like date someone who you're so alike or so similar to?
Love is a lot of work, like so much work. Love is hard work.
I'll make myself better for you, you make yourself better for me.
7 out of 10 people, when they usually say those kind of things, they don't really know who they are.
Is it okay to change something about yourself for someone that you care about?
Every ex was the problem and every ex was toxic. So I'm like, the common denominator here is you.
But you know I've dated guys that will not be clear about what they want at all.
They just want to hit.
But then 2 months later they'll be like,
Everything boils down on communication between what is intended to say
yeah.
and what is actually said. Lots of information is missing.
I've been hearing a lot of crazy stories. And this comes with the fact that I'm always like hosting lives on TikTok. Example, I was talking about the other day, helping people find a vow date on Valentine's Day. And I made it in a way that, okay, just meet on Valentine's Day and disappear. Don't see again. That was the whole point of it. And yeah, some people came on the live and they were like, they need a Valentine. And then it was going really good until this lady came on the live and she was like, she doesn't need a Valentine's date. I was like, why? She's like, I have a spiritual husband.
What?
I had to adjust my seat. I'm like, okay, interesting. So, you have a spiritual husband. So, how does that play out? She said, yeah, that she called something twin flames. That is something called twin flame. I don't know if anyone knows what twin flame is. Yeah. So he said there's a twin flame. I don't know what that shit is. And she said that they usually like meet in the spiritual world and they make out in the spiritual world.
Like a spirit, like a ghost or
No,
something?
so the husband is this guy is not a husband. It's like a spiritual. Okay, let me say spiritual husband, spiritual relationship, boyfriend. So, they meet up. So this guy is real, but he's in a different time zone, different country. So the only time that they meet up is in the spirit. So when she's sleeping,
They like talk with text or video.
like in the spirit world, they both like come together and they make out sometimes. They sit down, they talk to each other,
Okay.
and
Is it like a one-way thing? Like, so is this like in her imagination or is the other person actually involved and they talk about it?
Oh, that's a good question.
so someone came on the live and said the same thing to her, and she was like, "No, that is a two-way thing," because she has said this to the guy as well. But I had a bit doubt about that. Like, I'm not sure. Maybe you're being delusional. But anyways, but she said this. They felt the same way, and the guy was like maybe into it as well, I guess. But it was just strange to me because what is a spiritual husband? Like, what does that even mean?
Is it the husband? No, it's a spiritual relationship. The husband is. Are they married? In the spirit world, but
Okay, so she said a couple of things as well that kind of like really concerning to me because coming from my background, my parents are both really dedicated churchgoers. So, so when someone says things like this, the first thing that comes to my head is, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because what the hell is that? but to her, it was like super cool. Like, it was like, no, yeah, you meet this person, you make out the spirit, and you're fine with that. And she said something else, that she's lived, this is her 6th life or 5th life. That about reincarnation, that she's come back like 5 times, that there was a time in her life when she was a tree.
do you think she was trolling you?
She wasn't.
Are you sure?
She wasn't trolling me. I don't know. Have any of no wait, is this sounding crazy? Am I the only one that heard this, or someone else has heard something like this
Maybe
before?
she was trolling you, I think.
I have a question. How many husbands can you have if you have a spiritual husband?
Do you get married? That's
Can you have
I don't
multiple
know.
spiritual
You need to invite
husbands?
her to
do
answer
you
this
get
question.
priest or do you sign the papers on the spirit worlds? Do you like pinky promise?
I don't know. Pinky promise.
But so her dating somebody in the non-spiritual world is not cheating on the person in the spiritual world, right?
Okay,
I guess.
she didn't want to get a vows date because she felt that would be cheating to the guy and spiritual.
Oh, she didn't want to get a vows
Yeah,
date.
she didn't get a vows date.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
the thing is, this guy exists, but he's not just in the same city as her. He's in a different city.
Does he know about the relationship?
The guy
That's the
is
question.
real, right?
The guy is real.
But because he's in a different city, they're doing it spiritually.
They meet in the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Have they ever met in this world?
Yeah, I think they've met like you said like once or twice.
How
Yeah.
do they,
To the
how do they do
wedding.
it?
And something she said though that in every other life, let's just leave like past 5 lives. I don't know how that's possible.
It's the same.
Same guy, but they meet in different ways. Like maybe sometimes it's a teacher, another time in a different life is an army guy or
Tree
something. I don't
and
know.
flower.
Like as a Christian, I'm a Christian, right? And growing up in churches, like sometimes you visit other churches, and there's some men of God, right, who are very, I don't know, we see them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Nigeria, Ghana, who are very, how should I
Spiritual?
say? Yeah, spiritually gifted, right?
Yeah.
So in these type of churches, I've heard, sometimes I even see women and men being spiritually married. Even in my church one time, like there's a man of God who was giving a testimony or something like that about a woman who was spiritually married to a river god.
What?
River God.
Yeah.
Poseidon.
Yeah, and then the god, it's a river god. Yeah, so the god doesn't allow her to find a partner. That's her problem, and she's
Because
so
they're
beautiful.
spiritually married
Exactly.
with
Exactly.
Poseidon.
I don't know if it's Poseidon or what.
The Greek god of water is Poseidon.
Poseidon, right?
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but in Ghana, and I don't know in West Africa, like in Nigeria too, but in Ghana, there's a lot of river gods, right?
Okay.
They're like there are a lot of river gods. Even if someone gets drowned in a sea,
And
you
then-
have to go and pray to the sea to bring the body back
Yes.
out.
To the
As
sea
you
or
know.
to the river god?
Well, if it's in the river, then to the river god.
If it's in the sea, there is a sea god.
Yeah, I think the sea god. There's a god somewhere. The sea and the water is a water god.
Ah.
Yeah, and so they're receiving this mami
I'm confused.
mami water. Mami water. It's in
Mami water. Yes,
exactly.
Mami water, yeah.
So that the gods, they love very beautiful women. So once you're so beautiful, they marry you, and you're never stable in a relationship. That's what they say. I don't know how
But you
true.
met her at church?
No, I didn't meet her
Ah.
actually. The man of God was saying this, and some of
Like
them
a pastor,
took
like
yeah.
in church, yeah.
And I've met women who also said that they had these things, and then they came to the church for deliverance. I was there with Harry. There was a deliverance. I don't know if Jeff was also there. She was just on the floor like a fish when the man of God was praying. She was she was moving like a fish. So probably she's also a river something, something like that. But so yeah, that was my experience with that.
Yeah, so I think you said some of you said you heard about twin flames, right?
Yeah,
So
I heard about twin flames.
yeah, what's twin
okay.
flames? What exactly is twin
Now,
flames?
twin
for
flames-
goodness sakes?
I heard it from an ex, right? And that's the first time I heard about it when she explained it, like twin flame, like this, like it's like someone, there's soulmate and then there's twin flame.
Oh, God.
Do you get it? So twin flame is like she's explaining. You meet them in every life, like you're meeting them in every life. You have so much in common with them, and But I think it's crap. Like, but then back then I almost believed. I almost believed, because if we're twin flames, we should be together now. Or maybe I'm not the twin flame.
Went out.
I don't know, but then just it's a long time ago. It happened. So that's where I heard the twin flame from. I even have a song I wrote called Twin Flame.
For her.
Not for her,
Oh my day, bro.
because I wrote
God.
it. I wrote it like months after the breakup. Actually,
Oh, so
because
she influenced you though.
yeah.
Published?
No, that's not published.
Oh,
I didn't put it
it's
out
not
yet.
published yet?
Yeah, it's still
Put
there.
it out. Want to listen
It's
to it.
still there.
Because
Because
I read the
like
video.
I don't write songs for people, but based on my experience,
Experiences,
you know, and sometimes for some reason for musicians, when there's a heartbreak, that's when the lyrics are so good and you want to write it.
True.
So yeah,
True.
that's what happened, and that's what String Flame.
Yeah. So what do you hear about Twin Flame?
Well, I thought twin flames was just soulmates, but what's the difference between soulmates and twin flames? Do you not think it's bad to be so like someone that you date, or like, do you not think it's a bad idea to like date someone who you're so alike or so similar to?
For me, when it comes to that in dating, I don't really see it as it's gonna it's gonna have any effect on the relationship if we're so alike or we're not alike. You know, I think communication and understanding is the most important thing. We can be so alike, and you can understand me because we're so alike, and I can understand you because we're so alike, and we can be so different. And then you introducing me to things that you're doing, and I love that, and it improves the relationship. So I don't think that has any effect on my relationships, like, or any relationship. I think if we are able to communicate well, then everything is gonna be fine. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it better to date someone you're similar to or someone you're very different from?
Well, like,
There you go.
please.
I'm trying to think the English words. Somebody you have a connection with, though. Doesn't matter, I guess, if you're similar or different.
Yeah, I know.
You with your experience, maybe with our experiences, we can say like, did you find it more easy dating someone?
I think Chidi can talk. He has more
Chidi,
experience.
yeah.
Sir, what the hell? By the way, for the records, I don't have no experiences.
All right, not sticking. No experience.
I don't know. Like, I think from what you said, like, depends on who you have connection with, right? I would say, in my perspective, I would say someone you share more in common with. I think it works better that way, because if you have a lot of differences, I mean, differences could come in different ways. Maybe what you like, what they don't like. It could be cultural. It could be religion. A lot of factors like affect relationships, right? So I think similarities, like, okay, and it also depends on the things that you consider really important to you, right? Your deal breakers, for example, right? So if those deal breakers that you have, or the things you consider really important, are not aligned with that person, if you don't share those common things, I don't think it's gonna work. Some people it could work, I don't know, but personally, that's how I feel. I feel like if you don't share common things that are important to you, that could be an issue, because a lot of people, I believe, are not really open to learning. Like, when their mind is set on something, that's who they are, right? So being able to accommodate someone else that has a different point of view takes a lot. It takes a lot. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it takes a lot, I guess. What about you? What do you think?
All right, talk to the man with less experiences. I think everyone has basically said it all. Like, if you have, there's a higher probability that you guys, I don't know who, are gonna stick together if you have the same values, same principles. I think it's gonna be a kind of forever kind of thing. But if you don't really share a lot in common, then sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Yeah, do you think you can like ever make it work with someone who has completely different values? For example, like religious values.
She said, "Can you build a relationship with someone that you have different religious values?"
Yeah.
Not easily.
Nice.
I've never had success with it, but I'm wondering if anybody has a story.
Yeah, experience, man.
Yo. So I meet a lot of people. I've met a lot of people, and I've met friends. I've met friends I've met friends that are married, right? and one of them is a Christian, the other one is a Muslim, and they said they live happily, right? I don't live in the same house with them, um, but I think when it comes to the religious part of it, she just says she goes to church, and then he goes to the mosque. He wants to, and then they come back to the house and live happily ever after. But for me, I'm always like thinking, if you have kids, I mean, so where does that leave them? I have no answer to that, actually. I don't know.
Well, I personally would say, love is a lot of work, like so much work. Love is hard work. So in cases where we have a couple that have two different religions, it's gonna need more than so much work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But then again, we need to identify what kind of people they are. Like some people are fanatics. Like they are like on that level, like very high. It's so important to them. It's hard to change fanatics. It's so hard. But then again, a lot of people say they are something, but they don't even practice the religion. Like they're Muslims, but they've never been to the mosque all their life. They're Christians, but they don't even know things about the doctrine and all of that. So then again, are they teachable? Are they open? How much is it on your list? Like how open are they to like really create a blend about those kind of things? Because let's face the facts, religion shapes your ideas, your belief system, your principles, your values as to what you think is morally correct or wrong, what is okay or not okay, what meals you eat, if you're gonna love pork or you're just gonna be, something else like that. Like it shapes everything. So if you have someone who constantly contradicts all these things, it's really gonna be tough. Like cohabiting with this person, like it's really hard. But then again, like miracles happen, one person can convert like, oh, I love you so much and I want to see what this experience is going to look like from, so they can get to like make changes, keep working on each other, and hopefully get somewhere, as long as they're not judges and all of that. But it's hard,
Like that would be very hard.
as long as they don't judge each other for the choices they make and all of that.
Listen, we don't judge.
Okay, I have a question. So, do you believe in "Take me as I am"? Is that a good sentence to make in a relationship?
She should have something to say.
Why me? No. There's a quote. It's like, I'll change myself for you, not change. I'll make myself better for you. You make yourself better for me. But it depends who you are. Like if you're a really toxic person and you're like, yeah, take me as I am, like it's not very healthy, because you're gonna have like a bad influence or like a bad impact on the other person. Yeah, I like it's, if you're a good person, obviously take me as I am, and like obviously people have like good qualities and bad qualities, and it's okay to have some like bad qualities as long as you like communicate them. But I think saying "take me as I am," if you're using it as an excuse to kind of like get away with doing bad stuff, I think it's not so good. But if you're yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
I think it's working when you mean it. You know who I am. I'm telling you who I am, how I'm as a person. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna keep growing as a person, but you don't try to change me so I can fit better with you. I think in that way, yes, but not for an excuse for like acting bad. But you still have to be accountable for your actions. But you can't change me. You cannot change my character, the way I think, my humor, so I can fit better for you, because then maybe we shouldn't be together.
Yeah, I would say this question poses a very huge, thing on your personality and identity, because a lot of people don't even know who they are. So when they say things like, usually 7 out of 10 people, when they usually say those kind of things, they don't really know who they are, or they actually portray a very poor version of themselves. and I think that's a very lame thing to say. Like everyone, literally everyone is work in progress. So instead of saying take me as I am, I would rather say take me as I evolve. Because people get to like transform, get better. The mindset changes. The mindset changes as they grow. They change their views about things. They learn what doesn't work for them and kind of like make adjustments as they grow older and all of
Change
that.
genders, probably.
Exactly.
Sure,
So
sure,
take
sure.
me as I evolve. Don't take me as I am. Take me as I evolve, and hopefully they turn out to be amazing humans.
That's sweet.
Evolve. But what if the person evolves into a different gender?
Sir, can we not can we just stay on? Thank you. Okay, I'm not going there.
The transformation was beyond recognition. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so I'm going to say this. Okay, so when people say "don't change me," right? Don't you think if you're in a relationship with someone and you care about that person and you know that person cares about you, wouldn't you see it as this person is trying to make you a better version of yourself? Why are you seeing it as change and not that this person is trying to be like of help to you to be a better version of yourself? Why are you seeing it as change?
Depends what the person is asking. When you're trying to change me, you're trying to change me. If you see something that I do and you think it's bad for me and it's not good for me, you won't approach me the same way as when I do something that you just don't like and you want me to change it for you, not for me. You have different intentions.
But isn't it okay to, okay, that's another question. Isn't it okay to change something about yourself for someone that you care about if they're willing to do the same for you?
Depending what that is. If for example you're in a relationship with someone and I explain to you, you know what, you do this thing and it's bothering me, can you please stop because it's hurting my feelings. Yes, you're gonna change for me, but you're also changing for yourself. You want to do it because I'm telling you something about yourself that you might didn't know. If I was doing something that make you sad or something, I would like to know, because this way I know better myself as well, so I can evolve as a person. So you should tell the other person, but you should tell them, you should communicate healthy, not be like, don't be so loud, you annoy me, because I want you to change for me. Or don't wear these clothes because I don't like it.
I was just going to say that makes a lot of sense. The way you say what you want to say about the changing of whatever they have to change. Because people, it's hard. It's hard for people to take criticism. It's hard sometimes the way it comes. So, but to the main point, I think people are evolving, and people should change certain things about themselves, unlearn some things, and then relearn or learn some new things of how to do things to make their relationships better, even friendships, and how do you call it? Romantic relationships as well.
I would say everything is changing. The weather is changing. The calendar is changing. Our iPhones are changing. Currently updating the iOS system and all of that. Everything is changing. So people should be open-minded to evolve. That's the good word. Yeah. Like
Okay.
keep evolving and like just change. Don't just be a dinosaur. Okay, just change. And the second part of it is in the process of change, don't lose your originality. Yeah, like don't change and become something people cannot recognize you to be. Like change, but still maintain your originality. More like an update. Update yourself.
Yeah, like maintain your core values. Because I was going to say that I think from our answers, this just goes back to the fact that you should just align. If you're going to have a better relationship, be with someone that shares similarities with you. Because changing comes a lot with if the things that you consider quite important to you are not reflected in that person, then you're gonna need them to start doing a lot of changing, right? But there are some things that you could just overlook. Or maybe the person does certain things that you're like, okay, I can let go of that. It's not that important.
Or maybe they're not your person.
Yeah, maybe they're not your person as well. Yeah, it could be a thing. Maybe just move on. Like just, I mean, I just want to say move on. Like just wake up one day and just like,
Or
oh,
maybe
Get
they
over.
might also change to become that person someday. Because we are also changing. I'm not the same person I was like 10 years ago. I'm not even the same person I was last week.
what's going on?
I'm not even the same. I'm not the same person I was in primary school, in uni. I'm always changing. I'm not gonna be the same person 10 years later, 5 years later. I don't even know about next year. So
Okay.
I'm always gonna change, and I think what everyone wants is someone to be alongside with them on that change journey. So while you're changing, you can still like recognize your key original natural features. Exactly. Grow together, change together, and all of that.
Okay.
I would say it depends on how much you change though, because
Change too much.
I feel like
What's the percentage? Should we measure it?
I feel like especially I'm in my 20s and I feel like to have like core values, like things that I really find important that I'm looking for in someone. Like I don't think like I really have that yet, and I feel like my values and everything I want to do, like it's constantly changing. So finding someone that actually like fits you in that way, and like you're changing and they're changing, like it's quite hard, I think, because I don't know, like I could be a completely different person, like you're saying, in a couple of years. And then like we might not, like maybe we're compatible now, but maybe in the future we won't be compatible. I just think like when do you find your values? Like when did you guys realize, okay, these are my values, this is what I'm looking for in a person?
Okay. I was going to disagree with you when you said you don't know. when you say you don't know what you want, I believe everyone knows what they want.
No, I have no idea what I want. Everything.
Okay.
I want to do everything.
I don't want to. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to like give you some existential crisis or something like that. But I'm just saying. But I believe that if you're someone that studies the trend of your life, like there's always going to be a common denominator in everything. There's going to be that thing that you find common in every stage of your life, that you feel like that's that thing that even when you're in any country, you're with family, you're with friends, there's just something, this common thing that you're always looking for. I feel like if everyone gives thought to that, you would find something that you gravitate towards most of the time, and that could be that thing that you're more comfortable with. I feel I'm not saying that maybe you have that or you don't have that. I'm just saying that's how I think logically about finding that value, that common thing that you think you want to find in someone. I don't know. Because I think it's like in trading, right? There's something they call I'm just now I'm going to do 200, like 200-day moving average, right? The way the market is moving in 200 days, it's always just he knows a lot about trading, so there's always a common, like the markets move up down, like it's very volatile. But even study the market for 200 days, you see that there's always at the point where the market is always like stable over 200 days. You always find that midpoint. So I think it's same thing with human life. Like no matter how your life changes, there's always this there's a steady pattern somewhere. There's always a pattern somewhere that you can find, I think.
Think
It's more like an advice that day.
You have to find the same partner if you have like a spiritual husband as well.
Maybe you lost spiritual husbands. Okay, no. Now she's thinking a lot now. No, don't think about it that much. I'm just saying.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. Okay.
Thanks for that.
I think it would be, if there's a time frame, I would say like probably 3-4 years ago, to be honest. And I think it comes with when you're maturing. When you're maturing, you know that okay, because everybody has a bad side. This is what I figure. It's like everybody has some things. Nobody's perfect. So what are some of the things that I'm willing to overlook and help stay in the relationship and help this person to grow out of it, right? So I figured all these things out. Probably I'll say it comes with the maturing factor, and also every relationship that I had, I go back, like I studied, like probably what like Chidi is saying. You have to go back every time and study a trend and see what makes you comfortable, what makes you want to be with somebody without like, and it almost feels like okay, you are blind in love. You have to figure that out. So because I don't want to end up being with a person and I'm looking elsewhere for something. I want to have the most important things in that person. I will not have everything, but there's some things like, yeah, I should have, So I figured that out, I think, a few years ago. And I think it comes with the maturity. So how fast you're maturing is important. And how you're looking at your previous relationship is also important. If you're looking at it in the wrong way, like, oh, you're perfect, your exes are always the problem, you're not going to fix anything about yourself. You're not going to, know what you are looking for, like quick experience with a person who, when I was listening to her, this was like, years ago, the next, and every ex was the problem. Every ex was the problem, and every ex was toxic. So I'm like, the common denominator here is you, right? It kind of, at least you should say, and this is like, you can say, oh yeah, they were all bad, but then I had something that was of maybe my attitude or something, but that never came into the conversations. Like, I am perfect and all of them were bad, and then after the relationship, when I did my trend research, I realized, okay, this type of people, I should probably stay away from them, So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's
You were the next ex.
Because the next one, you're added to the trend.
I was added to the train, and I'm sure, I was added to the train.
29 next person.
Yeah, and funny thing, the crazy thing is, so I have a friend that, like, my male friend, we work together, and then he met this person somewhere, and then they talked, and the conversation that came about me is same thing that she used to say about the ex, the same thing, bad, not good, this and that. And I'm like, okay, then every ex has the same
And
story.
he was gonna be the next.
No, that's my no. I don't know what they did. I wasn't there, I wasn't there, but that was a good friend who told me, and he was like, bro, like, I think this is just try to move on, but this person is to come out of a relationship and now come and talk to your friend, my friend, about everything which doesn't concern him, and make the person look bad. It's also a very bad thing, So let me just.
Okay.
I think what you're saying, when people talk about their exes and they're like, oh, that ex was toxic, that ex was toxic, I feel like you should always pay attention to how people talk about their exes, because if they're always saying like that they were really toxic, really bad people, stuff like that, yeah, you're probably right. That person, they could have just like have really bad taste in people they date, but also, yeah, it could be that they're the common denominator. But yeah, I feel like you can always trust people more when they're talking about like good stories about their exes, or like saying that like even if they don't talk, that they would be on good terms or something, or like not terrible things. Yeah. Can you be friends with an ex?
Okay.
All right. Before you get to the friendship part, that part, wait. I just wanted to say the thing about values is actually what you value the most. So if I'm big on communication, and you're more of a mind reader, we cannot work. Like, we ain't gonna work. It feels like I'm gonna be speaking French and you're speaking Arabic. Like, we're never gonna understand each other. So it's more about finding what works for you, like self-reflection. What do you value the most? And find people who have those same kind of traits. And that's just about it.
Continue with the friends.
I'll like you too.
Okay. No, I mean,
got a hot spark.
yeah. Can we be friends?
But you can tell a lot about people, not by the way they talk about their ex, but the way they talk about people in general. Like, you walk the street, you will see someone. If the first thing they will say, they will start speaking bad about everyone, about their friends. If they whine a lot, you can tell about how much self-reflect they're having. If they're talking about an ex or an old friend, you can tell if they're holding their shelves accountable at some level. Doesn't matter. So, yeah.
Terms
Maybe
with your
on good
friends.
terms with your ex.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Answer the question.
What is that question though? You.
No, I asked that question.
Being on good terms with ex.
Just make it practical. Are you still in good terms with her?
It's all good.
Maybe you have to find every
I think it's there's a thin line though. There's a very thin line. I think it's because sometimes people say don't stay friends with your ex because meeting with them again can reignite some flames, some twin flames in the past, and it could cause some lead to some immoral acts and stuff like that, and some feelings and stuff, and then lead you to cheat. But I think it depends on how principled you are. I believe principles has a lot to play in this. So I wouldn't say be enemies with your ex. No, I think it's come on. I mean, life is too short to keep enemies everywhere, or you start blocking people everywhere. Yeah, welcome.
You can block
Welcome to
people.
Turkey. Welcome to Turkey, where your ex blocks you. I don't know if it happens in Germany or Czech
No, you
Republic.
can
I
block
don't
a few
know. Or in Greece. I don't know. But they just block you. It happens in Ireland as well, where you block your ex.
Some people do it. I know people who've done it just because they couldn't stand seeing that person, especially if that person had like another girlfriend or boyfriend.
So instead of unfollowing, it's
Block, yeah, because then if you block them, then you have to go to the effort of like, well, it's the same. Well, you could unfollow them, but then you're more likely to follow them again.
Block them too.
Blocking is like, okay, blocking.
But
I'm certain
you
about
don't
this.
have to block your ex. You can block a lot of people.
Yeah.
So okay, I think I could stay friends with my ex, but be very principled, right? For example, I wouldn't hang out with her. There's certain places I would never hang out with her. There's certain things I would never see her on. If you're hanging out with friends, oh yeah, let's hang out with friends. We're all together, cool. But to meet together, just us, no, I wouldn't want to do that because I think it's being able to set boundaries and say, okay, we broke up. Oh, that's fine. Now maybe she broke up with me. Maybe I broke up with her. It doesn't matter. Like the thing is, I wouldn't even hold any grudges against her, even if she broke up with me, because I've had a girl break up with me. A girl told me that she was she said I was a distraction. So like
Exactly what you want to hear.
no, I appreciated that. Like I felt bad, but afterwards I appreciated their honesty. I love when people are honest with me. I appreciated it. Like so we're talking over the phone, and like I was taking it really seriously. We were dating, all of that. And then after a while, I started pulling back. And then I kept calling. And then I said, oh, what's up? What's going on? She was like, okay, you know what? She needs to just tell me the fact was she was going through a lot in her life. She had school. She had a lot of things. And I was the only place that she found like peace and calm. So right now, things are back good in her life. So I was just a distraction from the chaos in her life. So that was it for her. I felt terrible, but a year later, I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. That was nice. I appreciate it. And
know the reason.
yeah, to know the reason. I don't feel bad about it. Like we still talk, we're still friends, and her life moved on, I moved on. So I feel like it just being able to have principles and know that the fact that you like someone, you want to be with them, doesn't mean they want the same thing with you. Yeah, you maybe and in the first instance you guys had the same thing, but as time goes on, you could grow apart. Things happen, and then you go your separate ways. So why would you start now having like, I'm not saying this that you shouldn't get mad at people when they break up with you or all of that, but start having grudges that years pass, you're still thinking evil of this person. I feel it's not worth it. I think it's a waste of energy. I think it's just a waste of energy. So
that's doing harm to yourself.
yeah, I think it's a waste of energy. So yeah, I feel you can still talk to your exes, but just have principles on things you can do and things you can never, please, you can never do with them, because if you do such things, you could just ignite some, some flames.
I had a friend who he was in a relationship and he was going over to stay at his ex-girlfriend's house because they were doing like language lessons and they were sleeping in the same bed. And I think this is a bit too far, right?
Oh, maybe they're just learning languages. Maybe she wanted to learn Greek, and
No,
I
I
wanted
think
to learn.
But
Language.
no, I think it's more about the body language.
yeah.
No, why are we judging? Maybe they were doing programming
Okay,
languages.
but the end of the story. So he was always assuring his girlfriend, being like, no, nothing is going to happen. And then after a couple of weeks, something happened.
Oh
And-
no, nobody expecting that.
No, wow, something happened. Wow, something happened.
We never
like
saw
a
this
language
coming.
degree or something.
Yeah, that's it.
So she graduated and got a certificate. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So nice though.
Nice.
Good for them.
I'm really happy for them. Yeah, you should be happy
Look
for
what
them.
they did.
So can you be friends with the ex?
I think
Wait.
Okay.
After that, did their relationship end? Are they still together?
The relationship ended, but the girlfriend forgave him.
So,
no.
so they're still together.
Nice.
No, they broke up.
But he's forgiven.
Very nice ex.
Yeah, but he didn't forgive himself, so they broke up.
He didn't forgive himself.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was like, he just ended up in the room with her. Oh my god, what are we doing here?
He forgave him, but he didn't forgive himself.
Yeah.
That's a very nice guy. Wow.
It's fine. Now he has to do some.
All right. I think I view relationships differently. All right. I'm just gonna put it this way, okay? Every relationship is like a movie. Some are romantic, some are full of adventure, some are very scary, some are like horror. This is how I view relationships. So, just like a movie, just like a movie, when like when the movie is over, it's over, okay? Like no flashbacks, no replays. That's the end of the movie. You move over to the next movie, okay? So is it with relationships? So your ex
He just be changing movies. He's directing this movie.
different actors, different stage and different everything.
Damn.
So you don't just block them, you block them and their friends. And any other accounts they can open in the future. Exactly. So, like, there's a reason they're, there's a reason they're ex in the first place. So you just move to the next. Yeah, like, so I think. So I think boundaries are very important. Like, their ex, they just stay in the past. Past is past. They just stay buried there, and you hope they don't make it to the future. Like, this is just what I think.
Okay, I don't know how you all had relationships in the past though, but if I have a relationship with someone, I share more than just romantic relationship with them. Like, there's friendship. We do a lot together. There's hanging out. There's business. So because I broke up with this person, I'm gonna just kill every other thing that I shared with them. Like,
Yeah, that's how it works. It's a contract.
I mean,
Look at it from this perspective, okay? I am Ronaldo and I play for Real Madrid. I have a 7-year contract.
yeah.
And at the end of the contract, it's like it's over. The terms and conditions, the benefits, the language lessons, and okay, you got that part. Like every other thing, benefits, privileges, and everything attached to that spatial thing. Like it's over. Like, and full stop. Like that's the end of the contract. So, just like in a business setting, we wish you the best in your future endeavors, and we hope that everything works out well for you. No grudges. You're not blocking them because you kind of like hate them. You're just trying to start something new, and you hope they don't interrupt the process. And it's also like your healing journey. It's a lot of people have traumas. A lot of people like it's your best chance at getting over that thing to recover. So you can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. You get that?
Okay.
Is a relationship a business deal?
Well, if you had some profit, why not?
What are the
If
profits?
you had some profits, why not?
Want to say something?
Wait,
So,
it's very general, all of it.
I mean, I'm a bit like with you and against you because I mean, the fact that you share something with someone, you just want to block them and cut them out of your life entirely because you feel like you cannot be friends with them anymore, you cannot talk to them anymore. I think it boils down to having. I am going to go back again to that what I said. Having principles and being like personally for me, if I'm done with someone, I'm done.
So you move on.
I'm done. I don't care how you come on strong to me. When I'm done, I am done. So, and the thing is, I know for speaking as a guy and knowing a lady, ladies don't like putting themselves in the place of being embarrassed. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to put myself in a way that if you're going to try to come on strong to me, you're going to feel embarrassed trying to do that. So you just back off. So I feel like it's being able to set boundaries and be like, okay, we dated, we shared love, we shared all of this. Now it's over. I'm moving on. I have someone else. I hope you move on too. Right? So I have a question. A friend, he's supposed to be on the podcast, but he canceled last minute because he couldn't make it. He said something. I'm going to quote this line. It could be controversial. He said, women, he said, don't listen to women, right? This was, I didn't say this.
Clearly,
A guy said it, not me. He said, don't listen to women.
He's your
that-
friend, though.
keep going.
So he said something. He said, don't listen to what women say. Listen to what they react to. How true is that?
Why women specifically, though?
I don't know. He's a guy talking about women, so he has a woman. You're talking about the man as well. So he made Justin Bieber as a guy.
Why,
said-
why did he say that?
I don't know. I think he's been in he's still in a relationship. He's in a relationship and everything. I think is good for him. So he's been married. He's married. So, but he just said that. He said, I think based on his experiences, I guess he said, don't listen to what women say. Listen to what they react to. Do what they react to.
Yeah, but I need like a better context.
No. Whichever
just
whichever
take
way
it,
you want to
please.
take it, whichever way you want to take it. So
Alright, in case you're watching,
I don't
type
want
the
to take
context.
it.
yeah. So how would you interpret that?
Okay. I think okay. So this might be kind of controversial, and maybe everyone might not agree with me because, like, different depending on your household, like different women can be raised differently. But like, especially in Ireland, anyway, the way it is, like, we already have a culture where you should be polite. So, like, for example, if somebody offers you something, you say no 3 times before you actually say yes. Yeah, it's like, you want this? No. Like, are you sure? No. Are you sure? No. And it's like, okay, yeah, go on. It's just politeness. And then you also,
Next twice.
but
For sure. I'm not twice.
Like the third one, she's gonna say yes. No, just
The fourth one. I don't risk.
but on top of that, you also have this role as a woman and how you're raised is that you're supposed to act polite and you're not really, you're kind of expected to not really ask for what you want. In a way, like you're kind of told not to be super direct in communication, I guess. Like if something is bothering you, you're kind of told like to be polite about it or not say exactly what the problem is because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or offend people. So you might think that like, okay, so if I say that this is bothering me, they might get upset by that. So like, I'm going to say, what is the like minimum amount of thing that I can say that might actually change, make a difference. But it depends, because different women are different, and I'm sure there's also men who would be the same, as in like look at what they react to instead of what they say. Like, I think it might come down to like more being like an emotional person and not being able to like actually portray or like to communicate your feelings and things. So you might not, actually be able to say like this specific thing bothers me, or maybe you don't know exactly what bothers you.
So, so what's your interpretation of that?
I can't interpret it because I don't know the context.
Can we do an example? Can we give an example?
Yes.
A situation?
Okay,
Example?
let's. Oh, okay, definitely. So, for example, a lady says she when you offend me, apologize to me, like tell me this, tell me the truth. Don't do it. No, tell the truth. But sometimes I feel like if you tell them, like if you tell someone, I think it just needs to be emotional intelligence. Like sometimes, like for example, you offend someone, right? Yes, you could apologize to her, but another way, if a guy knows someone, for example, the guy can end up buying her flowers. He doesn't need to say a word, and everything changes. The mood changes because it's not what she says she wants, but you understand that person, so you find other ways to like. So you just allude to the fact that what she reacts to, yes. So it's not what she's saying that she wants, but you knowing the thing that she reacts to, doing those to her, and then even everything she said doesn't mean anything again because she reacts to that thing.
So you mean men should think for women?
I'm not saying men should think for women. I'm not saying men think for women. I'm just saying try to understand the woman you're with so that you don't end up following everything that she's saying, right? And not finding better ways of understanding her.
You saying follow what our women say.
I'm saying listen to her, right? Listen to her, but at the same time, be
Understand.
creative.
It's kind of thoughtful. It's kind of thoughtful.
Like be creative. Listen to her, and don't pay. Let's say, oh, she's saying something. Don't pay deaf ears to her. Oh, no, she's trying to say rubbish. No, listen to her, but at the same time, be creative. Like, don't just go with the everything she's saying. Because I think, like, I've always heard that they always want more. Women always want more. They can say one thing, but if you give her like she wants cake. I give her a cake with extra toppings. Oh, there's toppings on it. Oh, nice. He's the best person in the world because he had the toppings on that cake.
Because it shows effort.
Yes.
If she wants
And
cake,
you thought about
then
it.
you throw
And
a
you
cake
put
party.
This guy's saying
Extra.
it's good. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. So
But you know, I've dated guys that will not be clear about what they want at all. Like they will just, you'll ask them what the problem is, and they'll say one thing, but they'll never tell you what the problem is.
they just want to hit.
But then 2 months later they'll be like, remember when you did this? And I was like, but I asked you if it was a problem, and you said no. And so I think it's just certain types of people as well. It's not just women.
Yeah, everything boils down on communication between what is intended to say
Yeah.
and what is actually said. Lots of information is missing. So people should just be better at expressing themselves, as we're not mind readers.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
You express yourself clearly, people understand you better, and you get what you want faster.
And you put an effort in understanding the other person. Don't just let them speak, but actually trying to understand what they mean.